Keep it pyro.
Alright, people. It's PyroRadio.com, the Flip Life Radio Show. Our special guest, the Freshers in the building.
Yeah.
What's good, man?
Sam, so good to be here, man. Shout out to everyone listening.
Yeah.
Thank
in
you
the
for
building.
coming, man.
Big up Pyro, man.
Just want to say we really do appreciate Archer for coming here dressed correctly. Listen. Archer came because he understood what type of occasion he was coming to. Slick to death.
This is a moment
no dirt on his shoulders.
Nothing.
Obviously, scanners come down.
No, but
looking relaxed.
See.
Man, calm down, looking real relaxed.
Wow. So Ben went straight for the jugular, boy.
That's what I was saying,
trying to split up the group early.
Archer was dressing up for hip hop, man. I was dressing down for him.
I've been dressing up for hip hop. It's mad. Nah, real talk.
I'm an Outcast fan.
I know. Real talk. We got this. I think that's the unique thing about the group. We're all different, man.
Love that. Right, with this show, Flip Life Radio Show, we try to get straight into it. Today, we weren't even going to have a topic today. And then when I was bouncing, we kind of was like, let's just do it different. Let's focus on you guys' music. And you got a lot of conceptual music and stuff, and a lot of stuff to talk about. And then as soon as it hit me back with the email, and then it was like, well, we couldn't talk about this. I thought, you know what? Because when we first started the show, we wrote a list of topics. And that was there already. Like, we've been meaning to do this show for a minute. So it's like, so we put the question together. Should rappers stop saying the N-word?
Yes. Let's go. Let's do this.
And I heard it kicked off on Twitter earlier today already.
Yeah, it kicked off. Like, it kicked off more than any question I've asked probably this year.
It's controversial.
Like, for a while.
It's controversial.
It's so polarizing, man. I mean, people are so divided on it. You know, it's like, it's just the grey area as well. You know, it's mad. It's a generational thing. It's a geographical thing.
Boy.
You know,
it's a psychological thing, man. That's my point. I'm gonna go straight in, bro. I've been waiting to talk about this for like years, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna gas you. Like, I'm so happy this is the topic. I'm very passionate about this one.
So like, you lot got a song called The N-Word.
There you go.
Yeah, which we just played.
So, should rappers keep saying it?
No. Facts. Full stop. And the thing is, and I'm talking to everyone, I'm not talking about like non-black people saying the N-word. I'm talking about black people saying the N-word. Like, for me, the history of that word is crazy. And when people say about reclaiming it for power, nah, that's whack. It's like saying, I'm proud to be a racist. Like, I own the fact I'm a racist, so I just keep saying I'm a racist before I say every other sentence.
There's a lot of racists in hip-hop, though.
There you go. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're going to say I'm a racist and claim the power back from a race, that just sounds dumb, doesn't it? Okay, anyone listening
on the
knows that
reclaim
sounds
tip,
dumb.
I do hear you.
It sounds dumb.
But then Nas got a whole album called Nigga.
Yeah.
Like a whole album.
Well, to be honest, they let him do it.
In that context, is it a bad thing?
They didn't let him do it, man.
They didn't let him, but he wanted to, though.
He wanted to, but one of the points he made in his single is like, if Nas can't do it, then who can do it? The guy's, he's top of the food chain, you know what I mean, in the game. So if Nas can't get an album with that title, then what's that saying? I
feel like, you know what it is, bro? I feel like people in society have allowed the dominant forces to make things okay. So when we talk about like mumble rappers, it's okay because they're famous and they're the top of the charts.
I don't know what they are, but don't get me started.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying with my point. My point is, and I teach, I see kids like 13, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Just mumbling.
Like, just mumbling. But mumbling to the point where it's like...
But are they rapping or they just mumbling?
I'm asking my students, like, what is he saying? And they can't tell me. But they like it. And I'm like, why do you like it? And like, well, everyone likes it. But why do you like it? And I think like when it comes to the N-word, it's almost like it's been allowed to happen for so many years that even the UK, and this is my other problem, fam, UK rappers using it, and I'm like, wow, when did that happen? Because we know each other from way back in the day, bro. Like,
and it wasn't really said in.
No one was really saying
in the hip hop community. No
one was really
on the
saying
real.
that.
I think it was said.
It probably was
in the ends.
Yeah,
like, I heard people in the hood saying it in certain communities, but it wasn't said.
It wasn't
in
record.
UK hip hop.
But fam, you gotta remember the word hood is an American slang thing that we took from hip hop.
There you go.
And niggas are saying.
There you go.
So in the ends, when people were saying it, people used to say done.
Of course.
And that's just like Queensbridge slang.
Yeah.
In the ends, people in London used to say, yo, done, what go on, done.
And we talking about projects now.
Yeah.
We're talking about projects.
Instead of estates, and so we do take a lot of the slang
and the
from
thing
them.
is, bruv, don't get it twisted, bruv. I was one of those guys that behind the scene, I caught myself saying it.
Yeah,
to my peeps, like on behind the scene. But I was so conscious that if I'm gonna record a song and I actually feel this way, I can't use that word. I can't even use that word even when we're talking like this.
But ain't it just the word?
Nah.
Cause I'm saying like, alright, Logic and Amy True got a song called Free Nigga.
Okay.
Yeah. What's his name?
Show.
Swiss has got a song called
Yeah,
Nigga.
I heard
and that song is a very important song.
Of course it is.
So you telling me that man should have made that song?
No. But listen. One thing I will say about those two particular songs, it is important to educate people.
100.
Exactly.
Educate them on that word, man.
100.
Because there's a lot of youths in the ends, in the hood, wherever, even in high society, man. They have no idea where the history is coming from. But they're singing along to N-words in Paris. Like, full voice. Even if they're
and that's
standing
got a history.
next to
That
black
term
guys.
has got a history to
Because they're
itself.
just not aware. So that's why I rate Amy and I rate Logic and I rate Swiss, because at least the intention
But
behind
that's them using nigga in hip hop, and you just said they should.
No. That's different, bro.
Then clarify.
We had an interview yesterday on another station, and I was saying this thing like, I was like, one of my favorite MCs at the moment is Giggs.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I like Giggs as an MC. I think he's one of the sickest.
He's flowing hard.
And what he's saying, he's talking about road. He's talking about what he used to do, but he's talking about the other side as well.
Yeah.
He's presenting a balance.
He says niggas though.
Yeah, he does, and that's a different topic. But what I mean, what the point I'm making, he's talking about something that I don't agree with. I don't agree with that lifestyle, but I know
because he balances it out.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know. We all know, guys, on that. We know that we're from the same ends. So we know that's happening, but we don't have to do it. We don't have to promote it. But what Giggs is doing, he's saying, yeah, I used to do that, but this is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to get out. And there's a mad song where he's talking about getting out of his crew, and I'm not really understanding why he's making that move.
Yeah,
that's a big statement, you know?
No, for sure.
Massive. And I would rather someone say, if they're going to use the N-word in whatever they're doing, they talk about the other side as well as the reason they're using it now.
Go ahead.
So like, use it
saying
responsibly.
like you said before, a lot of people are using it without knowing that.
Yeah.
So how do you address that with them artists that have just?
I think,
and some do know it, but they've just they got this reclaim
It's
thing,
fashion,
and they're using it for like American rappers more maybe. That use it, they claim they use it for endearment or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
I think, you know what? I think the weirdest thing, and I think us as I even like using the word OG. I don't consider myself an OG, but the reason I say OG is because we've been around the game for a minute now. So
and the suit.
But my thing is, our schooling of hip hop is different to the guys that listen to it now. So when we came in, it was about battling, MCing, hip hop.
That word was there though.
It was there, but how many of us were using that in our songs?
No.
But you know what though? One argument I've always had, and I interviewed Chuck D once, and I presented this argument to him.
Yeah.
And it got a bit heated.
Let's pause.
Yeah.
Scandius is going to do a lot of name dropping.
That's calm.
Because
Scandius
has interviewed a couple big dogs in the
No,
game.
he has. We should have had a bomb. We should have had a bomb for that. But our producers filmed it. Our producers holding the camera. So
Fam, his brother just done Chipmunk, man.
There you go.
That's relevant. But but basically the point I was making to him, I was like, just as lyricists, as wordsmiths, as intellectuals, man, they've been using the word in hip hop since the mid-80s. And a man ain't bored of that word yet. You ain't found another word. Is there not evolution of the word?
We've been using every word though, man. And like, I'm saying,
but just like,
I hear what you mean, but
you see what I'm saying? Even racist slurs over time, they change.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. But we're going, nearly 30 years with this.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, not back in the day, but a few years ago, there was a Master P came out, and he was like, black people should stop using the word, I can't remember what country, who said it, someone said it, and he was like, yo, black people need to stop using the word. And I remember 50 Cent got mad offended. And he was like, when Master P was still selling records, he said the word.
Yeah.
But now he ain't selling records no more. He's out here telling people what to say.
Wow.
So I'm saying, and also, like, I don't know, hip hop is a very young sport.
Yeah.
And so I know most of the youngers I know are a bit dumb, innit? So man can't just cut man up for one word. Also, is it going to get rid of white supremacy if no one says the word?
But you know what the deepest thing for me? The word itself is not my biggest problem, bruv. It's the connotations behind it, bruv.
Yeah.
When you say that word, you're basically accepting everything that stands behind the word. So when these guys are using it now, they're talking about slavery. They're talking about labels. They're talking about marginalization. They're talking about this word meant you were this type of human being. Forget being black.
But more time, the whole verse is saying that anyway.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about the verse.
So I'm saying if man's verse is like, I'm joking up everyone in my community, I'm killing up everyone. Different. If a slag comes through, I don't show her no love. I'm just gonna run through it. Different. If man has got food or money, I'm taking it. But I said nigga, so that's the worst part of the verse.
Not at all, bruv. And the thing is, I get at those guys all the time. The RCs, man, like I got songs about those guys all day long because I'm like, you want to be famous, you want people to support you, but what are you giving the people back? You ain't giving them no education. You ain't trying to uplift them. You're trying to keep them in a box, and that word solidifies keeping people in a box, fam. That's what I'm saying. The word itself means you are in a box. Facts.
No, I do agree in it. And that's something, you know, that comes with age, because all of us are grown man, innit? But I'm just saying, the most man is using it and going extra hammer, babies, innit?
100%.
And when I was their age, I was using it too.
Of course, I'm not.
There was even times when I used to be like, you know what, I'm just not going to ever say, I'm going to shoot or stab niggas no more. Yeah. But if I say, oh yeah, that's my nigga, you know what I'm saying? I would still carry on.
Saying in different contexts.
Like, that's what I used to say to myself. Now I don't say it at all, but I'm saying like, it comes with, you know what I'm saying? There was a time you didn't know, innit?
So it's education.
You just touched on something. I'm going to interview you for 2 seconds. So we ain't really talking about this. So you just say you were saying it before and explained a bit, and now you don't anymore. So you decided to stop.
Yeah.
So explain that.
That's I decided to stop. But also, I decided to stop saying a lot of things, innit? It wasn't just. I decided, you know, language is powerful.
100.
And I'm real ignorant with my language all the time. So, like, one of the words I can't stop saying is bitch, yeah? So, nigga was kind of easy, I ain't gonna lie, because really, you know what I'm saying, our parents didn't say that. My uncles don't say that stuff. So, these times here, but bitch, bruh,
that was hard, easy, man. Easy.
Not because, you know.
Just rolls off the tongue.
It happens.
Too much IC.
To get back to the song, listen, I weren't even trying to cut that off, but I just wanted to, you know, we talked about those other songs. The Amy True song and the Swiss song. With you guys' song, like you don't say the word in the song at all. It's like you took a whole different angle. Like, kind of talk to us about the thought behind it.
Yeah, man. I mean, the idea behind that track was just looking at the wording. You know what I mean? It's a protest without protesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're showing you this is the N-word. You're like, oh, okay, all right. N-word. It's used once in the song. If you clocked it, but it's cut out.
Okay.
So you hear it and it's gone, and you're like, "Well, gone." You know what I mean? But that's intentional, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I think the whole thing. I think just going back to being lyricist and loving hip hop as an art form, it was a challenge because Scandu's pretty much brought that concept to the table. And for me as a lyricist, I was like, yeah, of course, that makes sense, because it's almost like finding other words beginning with N to do the whole song. And for me, that's another challenge as an MC. So it's almost like there's two concepts here. There's like avoiding that word, but calling the track N-word, and then spinning that and saying these are the other N-words you could use, or there's other N-words we could be saying.
No, I thought it was really like creative, but I was looking at like, okay, just listening to it. And I was watching the lyric video and I was like, okay, I wouldn't be 100% sure what angle you was trying to come from. And then I read in the description that it says it's the idea behind the song was to tell people not to use this word.
Okay.
I was like, okay, but you haven't just come out and explicitly.
No. A lot of it is up to see, I'm always intrigued when people give me their feedback on that record, 100%. Man, because we've left it kind of open to interpretation.
We didn't make it obvious.
You know?
Yeah, we didn't make it obvious, and I think that's part of the beauty of hip hop. Hip hop, your greatest lyricists are never obvious. Like, you have to listen to that like 2, 3, 4 times and say, "Oh, sugar, he said that or she said that." Wow, I didn't clock that.
I found it real interesting as well. Also, because I don't know who it was, some comedian like, yo, when people say the N-word, they put the word in your head. but they don't say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like,
100.
I found that real interesting.
And we're dealing with the issue this is an issue that is so ongoing, and we don't know how much longer it's going to be ongoing. Obviously, you had the woman in the Houses of Parliament using it.
I forgot about that. We didn't even brought it up.
You had the famous American comedian on his show use it the other day.
The guy from Top Gear.
There you go. There you go.
This is a word that's present in a lot of non-blacks'
None
minds.
of them people lost their jobs for that, by the way.
Yeah, but this is, see, now, you're going to get me started. Because you're going to get me started,
we
bro.
ain't going for their heads.
You're going to get me started, bro.
And
This is crazy.
Those times it's used in a way different context.
Okay, can I just say this? Because this is deep.
Say it.
This is the point I'm trying to make with us or anyone using that word. You're giving opportunity for anyone to use it. And what happens now, when it's used now in 2017, in a public sphere, commercially, it's a shock value, but no one lost their job.
Yeah, but I don't feel like them people.
No one lost their job.
I don't feel like there's any connection with black people saying that word in rap music to these people saying it. Those people would have speak like that anyway. No. If you want to talk about like,
behind closed doors.
Behind closed.
They're using it in a straight racist context.
100.
They're not using it in like, oh, this is okay for me to speak like that.
Yeah.
We can get to that because there are white people that have done that.
Oh my days! Don't get me started.
In public.
Big up Eminem.
No, but the thing is,
Eminem.
I've heard M use it, bro.
But okay, this is my other thing. It's like when I remember growing up, and my mum was always like, she schooled me on the whole racist thing because I was blinded to it because I grew up in a multicultural area. I went to a multicultural school. Like racism was probably there, but I didn't experience. My mum was be careful of people that say the N word or call you coloured. So I was like, what do you mean coloured? She's like, yeah, that's a racist term. So then I'm growing up thinking coloured. But when I look at all my peers, white, Asian, black, whatever, Greek, everyone's coloured.
Yeah.
There's a different colour to everyone. So my thing was, I'd rather someone say coloured than the N-word, to be real honest, because then I can interpret coloured as a literal term, like we have different shades of our colour. The N-word has different connotations. Historically, you can't change the connotation of that. It exists already.
No, I know. And also certain people that use the term coloured might not be really racist, but if someone calls you a nigger,
it's ignorant. Yeah, they know what that means.
They're saying, yo, I want to fight you. Yeah, assault me immediately.
But and then this is my other part. I don't want to even get too political with this. If you have a black person, MC, whatever, using that word, what they are basically saying to the rest of the society is, I'm okay with the label that they gave me. I'm okay with this, and I'm gonna use it. And because I'm okay with it, and I'm popular, then you might feel a bit more comfortable, not only to hear it, but it might slip out your mouth. Oh, but Kanye said it. Jay-Z said it. It's and I heard
out of whose mouth?
Anyone in society.
White people.
Anyone. No, I mean anyone, bruv. Seriously. Anyone. And I heard this in a club, bruv. This is why it was so deep to me. Shout out to Fat Controllers. So I DJ sometimes. I don't DJ, I'm hosting with these guys. They played in what's it called? Paris, that one.
Yeah.
And it went off, bruv. When I say it went off, spin up, wheel up.
There's been issues with that song as well. There's been famous people tweet the lyrics from that song. Who was it?
The Coldplay's wife, the guy from Coldplay's wife. She's mad bland.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes. Straight bland chick. I don't know what her name is, but she's out there just
saying
yo, my name.
Bro. I'll be real with you, fam. There's so many social media warriors, bruv. On YouTube, as you know, and on Twitter as well, man. They just, behind the screen, they get brave, and certain words that they know they wouldn't say in public, they'll fly out their mouth for fun, you know, and you see it, and it's like, and people, it's like, you can't challenge everybody, you know, but it is an issue there.
I think we need shout out to Dre. Shout out to Dre.
People.
I thought we was kind of boy the thing, you know.
We came in with.
We was about to air him out. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna be like, so Dre didn't turn up,
Nah, never that.
Dre trying not roll.
Never that. But you just come into a hot topic, family. I just want to say this one point because I feel like I'm gonna get way too political. But
no, great, do it. Go all the way, man.
There's no such thing.
And I'm saying to the consensus, the guys listening, anyone that hears this later, there's a divide, isn't it? There's people that use the word and people that don't use the word. There's artists and MCs that use the word and artists and MCs that don't use the word. I actually want to hear from those artists. I actually want to know why they say that word in their verses. I actually want to know. That's almost like my challenge to the industry.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, sorry for the lateness, people.
All good.
What's I gonna say? All right, so I was that kid. Yeah, I was that kid that heard all these rappers and thought saying the N word. I was gonna say it there. But saying the N word was acceptable. Like I can just say it like saying any other word. As you get older, obviously you get more conscious about what you're saying. And you're like, you know what? I can't really say them things there, you know. Especially when your mum's saying, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective on that. You're just young and dumb. I think that's what I'm getting from that.
Yeah,
you know
that's fine.
Yeah.
Because we all did that and we were saying that before. I'm talking about the responsible in quotations,
the
responsible artists who signed a record deal on radio, they're on television, they have a platform.
Yeah. Who is the responsible artist? You mean the 17-year-old who just put out a song and got a deal?
Right. good point.
But then again, you've got Jay that's just dropped.
OJ, it's mad.
How the track starts.
Yeah, but the concept's different though, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, so you don't have a problem with the word, but just how it's used. That's what I was saying at the beginning.
It's not what you say,
so you don't want people to stop saying nigga. You just don't want them to say it in a way that's derogatory to black people.
Basically, if there was a word that offended you, right, whatever that word is, I know not to use that word around you because it's gonna get on your nerves, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like that.
No, that's real. So even if you feel comfortable saying it, you might offend someone else, so don't say it. That's why I won't say it. What I'm saying.
Yeah. It's the backlash. It's the backlash.
I was just about to say this. If you're sitting Sunday lunch with mumsy, with dad, auntie, sisters.
Right.
Which one of these guys are going to be saying that word over the dinner table on a Sunday, bruv? And that's my thing. If you can't say that on a Sunday, why are you saying it on Monday or Tuesday?
You know
bruv?
it's wrong, but you still did.
You know it's wrong, bruv. If you were comfortable, you'd be like, yeah, that's calm. It's not offensive. But you won't say it in front of mumsy.
Nah.
Or auntie.
But how many things do you man say on record that you wouldn't say on Sunday?
True.
That's the thing.
Right.
You man say a bag of things. I've listened to your music. What were you saying? Hey, just let me take that bar out.
Yeah, no, that's real. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I think there's been a couple projects. Like, I tried to sidestep Mumsy, but Mumsy knows what time it is. She wants to hear everything.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think that main thing is with anything in hip hop, it's more if it's getting said in the ends. It's going to get said on record, innit? True. So you want it to come off record, just stop man them saying it in the ends.
And let me be real clear about what I'm actually saying. I'm not telling anyone not to use the word, you know. Goes back to my Giggs point. Giggs is from the road. Giggs did his thing. Giggs is in a new space. Giggs is talking about what he did and where he's going, and he talks about the transition.
Giving the context.
He talks about the darkness. It's the other thing that people don't talk about. You talk about being on road, talk about feds kicking your door off. Like, we know that happens, but if you ain't showing people that side, you're only showing them the end result, then you're lying to yourself or you're lying to the public. So if you're going to use that word, give the full Monty, man. Tell them what it actually represents, and tell them why you use it.
Most artists don't have that brain capacity to do that, bro.
Why are we accepting that, bro? That should be the majority.
You got to think. At MC, right? All these friends are gassing him. Oh, you're sick.
Who are them guys?
His friends, whoever that may be.
Who are they, bro?
The same guys that talk like he does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
The guys that let him know he's dope.
Yeah.
The guys who are like, yo, you're the hardest, fam. You're the hardest. You know what? You should try to do your thing. Make a mixtape, fam. The reason why he's got money.
Yo. Alright. So solutions. How do we address this?
I tell you what we do. This is the first thing you do. This is what I'm gonna say. Public announcement. First thing you do, you go download that FRSHRZ EP.
Yeah. Where do they do that?
They do that. You can pre-order the thing today. iTunes.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gassing you. I'm not even trying to promote the EP. I'm being real. Download the EP tonight. Like pre-order that. Check the back catalog. See what we're doing with the hip hop thing, and you went back to the words thing. See what words can do to people. So just check what we do, and then go back to the other guy.
Yeah.
And I challenge anyone to tell me that once they've done that process, get the EP, go back to your other guy, and tell me if they ain't feeling something different. If they ain't feeling like, oh, actually, why is he talking about that? How comes these guys are talking about that?
So basically you're saying
thinking. It's just a thinking thing.
You what you're doing right now is the solution.
I'm saying we're part of it. I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying we are at all. I'm just saying there's obviously, and it's not just us, it's you, man. It's all them artists out there that have something to say. You guys are activists. We see, man, doing other things than music.
Medias now, though, fam. Don't get
100, bro.
Medias.
100.
Medias with
the fact is, like, when I look at you two, like, I'm looking at MCs that I knew from back in the day, but I'm looking at activists. Because when things kick off, I see you, man, doing your thing, promoting politically. You see what I mean? I don't see the other guys doing that. So I'm questioning your integrity. You want me to buy your record, you're hyping up your album and your single, but I ain't seen you at Grenfell. I ain't see you post one thing. I ain't see you talk about working tax poverty. I ain't seen you talk about none of that, and you want me to buy, you want the same people that are starving to buy your album, bruv.
You gotta think though, ignorance will buy ignorance though.
Yeah.
With what
people
money,
are scared. People are scared.
With what money, bruv? With what money?
When JME did that Corbin interview, they found tweets from like. They found tweets from when he was like 7 years old, and they were like, "Listen, he supports rape, he hates Jews, he's disgusting."
Those are the spin doctors, man.
And people are shook because what they were tweeting when they were 17 was like, "Oh," you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be on the front cover because I got to go Sunday with my mom and auntie.
100, bro.
So
but the thing is, I think the thing is, bro, like we're all grown men in the building and grown women. Like we've all done shit we don't think was right. But if you own it and say, you know what, when I was 16, 17, that weren't a good look for me. But however,
on the front cover of the Daily Mail.
Nah, that's different. That's a whole different
That's what happened. That's what I'm saying. So
I know, but that's a whole different
thing. If you got a little platform and you speak out about something they don't want you to speak out about, you go and catch heat. But us man just ain't shook of that. Because we're 100% independent.
100.
People got ties.
Absolutely. I see what you're saying in terms of why men are not speaking out.
I don't judge people for not speaking out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but why though? Why can't those guys speak out?
They can. And some more time they believe what we believe.
Some of them do.
Yeah, like when you sit with them behind closed doors, they'll be like, yeah, I agree with you on this.
But what's their reasoning for not saying it publicly?
Protecting their brand.
Nah, I can't feel you on that.
Yeah,
bro.
loads of people don't want to talk about with the election thing. I got wound up. Yeah, certain people wouldn't come and support us, and I see JME supporting, and I thought he just took a load of bullets for that.
Yeah,
and it made me kind of understand some that didn't want to do it, but I thought, you know what, you just got to stand up and do it. With people even more close to us.
Yeah,
when we first started talking about these racial topics and all of that. Whitewashing of UK hip hop was a topic we spoke about.
Really,
and I went. I spoke to a lot of like artists that are big popping in this under rapping, white rappers that are really quite active and record labels with whole white rosters. And they were like, "Yo, I've been following the thing. These lot don't comment on that. I don't even know. They're watching. They're like, yo, I've been following, and you're right, and you're this, and I'm sitting down at Boom Bap and having a breakfast with man. But they won't come and talk about it though. It's deep, man.
It's deep, bro. And you know, I think Talib Kweli brought up a big point at one of his gigs, man. As a lot of people that fetishize black music, but they won't like be present for the actual artists that create the music. Yeah. So like, for example, if you've got an issue where Eric Garner shot by the police, they won't put a tweet out supporting. They won't come and march with the people, you know. And it's not, this march is for black people only. It's for the people that are against injustice. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but we'll bump to your music in the club. But you know what I mean? If you're gonna stand for my music, then you gotta stand for me.
No, I hear that. That's a question.
What I'm dealing with.
That's a question I always ask white rappers when we introduce interviewing them: is do white rappers have a responsibility to support black issues?
Fam, that's interesting. That's an interesting question.
I love white rappers. I've come up with white rappers, but some of them have a deep-seated issue. Yeah, you know, and they won't speak on it, but I feel it. You know what I mean? I feel it. And you know, one of the giveaways, bro. One of the giveaways, man. I can tell some stories. But I mean, one of the giveaways, bro. Fam, when I'm asking you, so who's your favorite MC? And you're coming back with Necro, Eminem. You know, because you can't be around all this blackness. You know what I mean? But you want to be present in a scene of something that was created from black culture. Yeah. You know, if you're gonna rep, then rep, man. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, it's deep, man. I just feel like, you know what, it's for me personally, like growing up in hip hop, I just look at the art form, man. To be real honest with everyone in the room, like I don't really see hip hop as although it was created from a black cultural perspective, I don't see it as a black thing now. It's not a black thing, it's culture. It's everyone. And the other thing I would say with that, bruv, some of the dopest MCs are not black.
Fam, that's
some of the dopest MCs are not black. And the thing is, my problem is but my problem is this, King. This is my other problem. You'd have to question yourself if you can't acknowledge that. Because I've met, and I ain't saying names.
Black people that can't acknowledge that.
What? King, in the industry that we came from, and I won't say names, where they won't. When I say your top 5, top 10. And you blatantly know one of that top 10 has to be a white rapper.
No, I ain't got a white rapper in my top 10.
What?
Nah. But there's loads.
Wait, let me ask you a question, fam. Are you saying? Whoa. Yeah. I'm about to get you saying Eminem is not in your top 10?
No. He's like, he might be my 11th.
He might be.
Are you serious?
I actually wrote a top 10 the other day on a
He might be my 11th man.
I can't remember if he was in there.
Come on.
He might be.
We're playing ourselves, bro. Eminem's one of the greatest, bro.
Name me four classic Eminem albums.
Huh?
Marshall Mathers.
Four of them.
Marshall Mathers. Slim Shady LP, first one.
It's okay, I'll wait.
No, I've got you, bro. I think, and I'll be controversial again. I think Marshall Mathers Part 2 is a classic, bro. I think that's a classic, bro. I think that's a classic, bro. I think that's a classic, bro.
I'll put Relapse over that, bro. And
even Relapse, bro.
Eminem Show.
Gets panned.
Eminem Show. Scrap that. Forget Relapse. Eminem Show. Eminem Show is a classic.
Eminem Show.
Classic.
Slim Shady LP.
Definitely.
Marshall Mathers LP.
100%. You gotta say part 2, man.
That's it.
Part 2's crazy.
And then maybe like the nerds will say Infinite.
Nah,
what I'm saying, there's no.
I'll put Infinite on the list.
No,
in fact, I wouldn't put Infinite on the list. Call me a nerd, innit?
No.
Listen.
In fact, the nerds might even say.
What you know about the 313? Hey, listen, I'm down with them.
Listen,
the nerds might actually say the first D12 album, actually.
Okay. I don't know about that album.
D12 not black though. You know that? You know that's 6 black guys.
Alright. To get back to the freshers,
Right, we even talked about that, bro. It's crazy.
Yo, I want to talk about the Black Pride song as well.
Yes.
To me as well, when I first saw that song, long before I saw the N-word song, I had the same thought. I thought, I'm looking at the title. I'm thinking, I'm expecting something, and then the concept is. It's about that, but it's a bit left. It's not as obvious. So talk about the concept behind that.
That was a very personal record, man. I mean, it was a very personal on a few levels, but one of the most personal things was it was inspired by someone that was, I would even say, was responsible for the formation of the Freshers. And he was a close friend of mine. He lived to like 33, had sickle cell all his life, and he passed away. And one of those ones, we didn't come out with a tribute for him straight away because I wanted to get it right. Man. You know, and we looked at, even though we did shows, a lot of times we've done shows and we say, look, man, the money we raise, like from merch or from tickets, we're gonna make a donation to the Sickle Cell Society, because it was something that a lot of artists didn't speak on, and I didn't understand why. You know, because it's very, everybody in the black community has a relative, knows somebody that's going through something like that, and they're not talking on it, man. So we felt it was very important to you know, shed some awareness. And when we did the record, people's reaching out on Twitter, behind the scenes. They're like, yo, you know what, we're grateful you done that, showing love, because they needed somebody to come out and speak on the awareness of sickle cell, man.
But I think if you look at the title Black Pride, it encapsulates everything we're trying to do, really. A lot of our topics are a bit left or taboo. Like, we have a track called Mental Health, and I think Black Pride is about people not speaking on those issues. Like, mental health is massive, not just in the black community, generally. And I remember when we came up with the concept, it was almost like for and I think this is what happens with every time we come up with a song as freshers. We have a song, we have a beat, or we have a production, and then every man goes away, or we write together, and we all have a different take on that. So it's like the title comes up, and then I'll be like, raw, actually, I have a family member who's gone through mental health, so that's personal to me. I can talk about it from my angle, and then other people have a different angle. So I think Black Pride was really about, okay, what does it mean to be prideful in the black community? And
it's an empowering song, it's uplifting, it's encouraging, I mean, educational at the same time. You know, both like musically and visually with the video, and you know, it's one of those ones. It might not say every single thing, but it will spark the conversation. You know, and that's what we needed to do. We needed to get the topic up, man, and.
So that's an important song because really I can't think of no other songs about it except like maybe Prodigy or Mobb Deep.
And we mentioned Prodigy. And it's relevant now
it's
because
mad.
of what happened to Prodigy.
R.I.P. Man died 47 or something.
Bro,
Like a baby. It's crazy.
Mad.
So, and we're gonna go to another back to freshers because we ain't talked about you like at all yet. Like all of you three have been doing your thing. Separately, I seen you about. Like I seen you all. I seen you all like from way back in the day with Archer, from way back in the day with Scandus. I seen you about as well with Clench and Natty and back in the So trust me, how did you lot come together?
It was the thing is, I'm like Arch probably say, man, I'm always looking for an angle. And one angle that I had for a few years, man, every September I'd put out a remix for Freshers Week. And it was just because no one was really covering that, and it was an excuse, you know, to go and do the uni circuit, you know what I mean? And so one year we did this remix, and I was like, you know what? The Control song just came out, and I was like, I know so many sick MCs. And I messaged every single sick MC in my phone. And like, certain man embarrassed themselves because they said to me, "Nah, we ain't touching that beat. I want to jump on the next Drake remix." And these mans answered the call, fam. And we went on like about a nearly 8-minute rampage of just bars. And it got such a sick response, man. It was like, you know what? Next year we ain't even doing a remix. Let's do an EP together, man.
Okay.
And so we formed the crew, and then the response was like, you know what? We're just kind of touching the surface here. There's a lot more we can do with this. And it came less about just doing something for the students and actually Freshers as a movement.
100. And I think this is the thing, because Scan will never say this, and I think Dre agrees. Scan is the captain of the ship, man. Scan approached me like 5 years ago, I think, on that one of those remixes
on some RZA shit.
Real fam. When they make the film about the Freshers, Scandus's life alone will be like, raw, this man is juggernaut. But what he did, I think, for me and for Dre, is he said, you know what, I have this vision, this is what I want to do. And me and Dre were like, that makes so much sense. Just in terms of who we are as people, our vision about education, society, lyricism, hip-hop, even from the grime era as well. It just made sense, man.
And we said this on the radio yesterday, actually. Like, with Dre originally coming from the grime scene, you know, this was like almost a collision of us with our traditional UK hip-hop background, Dre from the grime, and us just evolving our sound off the back of that and just creating something fresh, man. And that's where we're going with it.
I can't lie, I enjoyed the movement. You got an extra professional as well, man.
It's mad, bro.
You think that makes you stand out in this game?
I think what I've seen, because I'm a fan of hip hop, bro. I'm a fan of you guys. I'm a fan of all the MCs that came before us, the MCs I grew up with, UK and abroad, and I'm a student of the game. So what I do regularly is I look at what's happening in grime, hip hop, pop even, and I'm like, hey, what's working for these guys? Not necessarily what we should be doing, because we're not trying to do what other people are doing, but why are they popular and what are they actually saying? And I think because of what we have in our hearts, the message we have is so strong. It's like we need to create a whole different movement to make sure people hear that message.
It's being sure of ourselves as artists as well. Like, we're all individuals before Freshers.
You have solo projects and such.
So when we come together, it's like, how can I put it? It's like the Power Rangers. Right?
Oh wow! Hold on. Wait. Can we? No. Pause. Can we edit that? Can we make it the Avengers?
No.
Let's make it the Avengers, please.
All right.
I was thinking about going to say Transformers.
Are you Tony Stark?
Power Rangers.
Say Scandus is Nick Fury.
Jesus.
Lord of mercy.
That's old school, bro.
But like I said, the EP.
Yeah, the EP. So the EP's out
next week. We're doing end of the week at Brixton Ritzy, man, hosted by Maslow, and Jazz T is gonna be DJing for us.
Sick.
And man, it's gonna be a sick night.
And you got solo projects coming up.
So we started the label this year, man. So we got, this is like kind of like the first kicking open the door. Then we got album from Archer come in, project from Dre, project from myself,
Yeah, man.
production team, Earth to Tom, literally all the cats on the label.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
once that whole cycle's gone round, back with the Freshers album. Man.
Okay, sick.
I think that's a good thing. I feel like because we are solo artists, it's almost like, I mean, my album's been in the works for 4 years, man.
Sick.
And I think it got better because I was in the Freshers. So the transition from being in the Freshers made me like reshape songs, think about other concepts. So I feel like collectively there's a movement, and individually when you see our solo stuff, you're gonna see like the influence that we've all had on each other. 100%.
Yeah, and that's an effective way of using a group situation to enhance yourself as a solo artist.
Yeah, man.
And then once we've enhanced as a solo artist, come back to the crew again and then enhance the crew.
Yeah.
So it's just
build.
You know.
Sick, man. So where tell the people, make sure they know the details, where they actually get the EP.
iTunes, man. iTunes.
What's the name of it?
Freshers EP.
Just Freshers EP.
Yeah,
and we're gonna be selling physicals on the day of the show. Also, we're gonna have a Freshers pop-up shops if you want to get some merch.
Sick.
Yeah, man.
And what about the other ways to find you online?
Boy, we everywhere, man. Instagram, Freshers, FRSHRZ.
No vowels.
No vowels on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
But not Snapchat.
No Snapchat.
No, that's Dre's responsibility.
Yeah.
No,
He's a
it's not.
Snapchat. He's
Jay,
a
what are you
snap.
doing
He's
on
a
the
snap.
snap, though,
He's a
fam?
snap. All right, wait,
You know
hold
what?
on.
It's 'cause
Let me
them guys
pause.
don't
Hey,
wanna
Jay,
take-
who's your
they don't
man
wanna take
follow?
responsibility.
Who's your man
Listen,
follow? Let me say. You know what the maddest
Because I
thing?
don't say as much. That's why they put all this stuff on.
No. Let me gas straight up a bit. So in the group, everyone's different. You can like we're all different. Like we're all different. Dre's the maddest guy, you know. Dre, we'll be in West End having a meeting, going to the pub, have a nice meeting. My man will be on his phone and holler at a random person and say, "Do you mind if I take my picture with you?"
Yeah.
Like he's that guy. Like he's not afraid to like speak to the people
When they're paying, yeah.
No, fam. Listen.
Don't do that to me, bro. Don't do that to me. Wow. Allow me, bro.
No, he's
a friendly guy.
He's the realest guy, the friendly, like he'll speak to anyone, 70, 75, 4, 6, 16, 25. And I think that's, for me, like watching this process with these guys is like, it's just made me understand how you can be diverse as a person, as an artist. It's like, right, these guys are different to me and I like it and I want some of that. And I think that's what we do. Like we give each other influence.
Dre, that's real African, by the way. I want to let you know that. just talking to strangers on the road. Hey, yo, come take a picture.
Yeah.
We're our friends now.
You know what? I think more people should do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and where I got that from was watching like prank videos and all that stuff. I'm a bit weird like that. I watch a lot of stuff like that. So
Jay was happy slapping in the early thousands.
I was.
That's incriminating,
Yo, how come you lot got a reality TV show?
No, shout out to London Creative. London Creative is a phenomenal unit. Like just the production team doing like our documentary, also doing some music videos. So I think it's just been cool like to document this journey.
Man.
So the documentary is about.
It's just about this process of putting this EP together,
Yeah.
the radio tour that we're currently on, up until the hip hop
camp, shout out to
launch.
that's gonna be crazy.
There's a lot of stuff happening, man. It's been quite a peak year for the Freshers, man. And it also come back from us growing up in the scene, man, and us not documenting it properly. Didn't need to be documented correctly.
We did this like we documented like whole tours when I was doing the Mud Family tour.
Yeah.
And it's just all on VHS somewhere. I got nowhere. We got like the actual tapes in it. Like you
can
filmed on
convert
tape,
that.
and it got converted onto a VHS. I remember Skinny's mum used to have this VHS, you know, the long play VHS, with just all of the footage from the guy. And we used to sit and watch it, and it'd be like half hour of like nothing going on. People just sitting in the back of the car and just not, because it was never edited.
Mad.
Yeah.
So I found the guy who had the original footage. He said he don't have it no more. So I'm trying to find them VHS.
Imagine if they had on YouTube all the legendary kung fu's, subterranean battles, ciphers.
That's
all
the
of that.
thing, bro. We didn't do like when I was in the One Crew. We didn't. Number one, the One Crew did no music videos. Like imagine that we didn't do one music video. What?
Banging
Not
album,
one,
though.
bruv.
You done one banging.
We did one banging album,
that is,
and then that was it. It was like everyone's just like, rah.
Better than most of M's.
You know what? I'll take that one. I'm gonna take that one. But I think it goes back. Because obviously we came from, there was no Instagram, no Snapchat, so we weren't really thinking about documenting it like that. Yeah. But fam, you need the Mud Fam stuff. You need to get that real quick.
I'll try to find it, man.
Real quick.
Since you touched on one before we keep it moving, you still in touch with them kind of guys?
Yeah,
that's a monumental crew.
Do you know what I have to say? You know what? I think for me as an MC, that was my school, man. Being in the one crew was a school. Like to the extent where you go there, you learn things. Like shout out to Pirelli, shout out to Sway.
Yeah. For those who don't know.
Yeah, for those who don't know, you're talking about two MCs even to this day who are still, in my perception, some of the dopest MCs we've ever had in the UK, even Europe, maybe America,
and they've been respected as that. Like
100%, bruv.
Sway broke down some doors,
bruv,
and kind of bridged the grime and hip hop.
100%. And let's not forget about Al Shucks, which was one of our producers who produced for Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, Empire State of Mind.
People don't realize, my man was in the basement in Holloway, North London, and then ended up in LA producing for Jay-Z.
It's got a Grammy.
Of course, man. And I think that
Jay-Z's
for me,
first #1 record as well.
Exactly.
Wow.
And do you know the history of the song? That song was meant for Sway.
It was meant for Sway, I know. And Sway chose Little Derek instead.
Which is still a banger. It's still a banger though.
Yeah.
So it's like odds and evens. But I think what that tells me is like UK have some of the dopest individuals in the world.
No, dope.
Let's not underestimate that, man.
And Governor was my guy.
Governor's my guy, man.
I just see him on the video. I just saw that. I don't know if it's been out for a while.
I think it's your video. Control one.
Yeah.
He's a beast, man.
Smash that.
Shout out to Mr. Tibbs as well, part of the Mad Fam as well.
I was a big One fan as well.
But you were there, bruv. You saw that.
Hey, big up 29s as well. Yo, named after the bus route of all buses when it was bendy.
Jeez. It's a beautiful moment.
Green to Holloway, bro. All day.
Man, big up you lot for coming down.
Keep it pyro.